Hello, thank you for joining me on Super Pants Gaming. Today we have the start of a new series called Quick 6, which I'm intending to do, where basically I'm going to do quick 30-second to 1-minute reviews of 6 completely random games. So earlier today I spent way more time than I'm willing to confess putting a great big list of video games from my collection into an online randomizer type thing called gigacalculator.com. And I've set it up so basically it's going to choose 2 games at a time, which my sensible adult is fully in control of over the other side of the room. As soon as I tell her, she'll press the button and we will get 2 games from the list. And yeah, let's see how terribly wrong this can go. So press the button if you could.
Yeah, PS2 Outrun 2006 and X360 Bullet Witch.
Okay, that's not too bad. And take a screenshot.
Got it.
Cool. So yeah, that's brilliant. So Outrun 2006 on the PS2 to start. That's good. I will see you outside in the Ferrari. It always concerns me when a company reboots a series that's dear to my heart. But here in Outrun 2006, they've done it in the right way. Featuring 30 tracks, 15 from the original Outrun 2 arcade levels, and 15 new US themed tracks, with multiple different game modes to explore so you can rack up the miles to unlock new cars and tracks. Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast feels like an amazing arcade experience and is true to its roots in many ways. This game is about going fast and hard and smashing your car around corners, ultimate drifts, and chasing down rivals. It succeeds in being what any good video game should be, and that is immense fun. This game is one of my favourite arcade races of the 6th generation, if not of all time. For anyone looking for an easy to pick up and really fun arcade racer on the 6th generation, you can't go too far wrong with Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast. And to top it off, when you run out of time, your girlfriend gives you a proper good hiding in the car. Now that's my kind of girl. Super Pants Gaming is proud to be giving this a 9. Bullet Witch is a third-person shooter released in 2006 on the Xbox 360. Set in the near future of 2013 in a zombie-infested world as humanity hangs in the balance, you play as Alicia, or a witch, the last chance to save mankind. Using your gun rod, you shoot and smash your way through the levels, blowing up everything in sight. This game certainly is explosive, however that is probably the best thing I have to say about it. I've only played a couple of hours of this game because, to be totally honest, it is a chore to play. The controls are janky and the AI is dreadful. If you want an explosive game that leaves you feeling frustrated and dissatisfied, then try Bullet Witch. A title that sinks into mediocrity among a sea of amazing third-person shooters of the 7th generation. And here, wanna see a cheap death? And I don't know who in their right mind is paying £40 for this at CEX. Absolutely crazy. So that's these 2 done and 4 left to go. So my sensible adult now is ready for the next 2, I hope. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go for it, press the button.
So, N64 South Park and PCE Dragon Spirit.
Okay. Excellent. I'll see you in South Park. I grew up with South Park being one of my favourite animated TV shows. I didn't, however, get to play the video game until maybe 20 years after it released. As with many of the early 3D games, I feel that this has not aged well. Maybe if I played this game back in 1998 when it released, I'd have a bit more nostalgia for it and enjoy it a little bit more than I do playing it some 20 years later. Games have come a long way in how you control the characters, and for what is basically a first-person shooter, it's at best janky, at worst a complete mess. I'm sure there are people out there that absolutely love this game, but I can't really get into it. I can't get too invested in the story. All I do is walk around lobbing balls at turkeys. Despite being a big fan of all things South Park, this is a game that, I'll be honest, I may not revisit. Ultimately, it's kind of sad to say, I think I'd rather go back and play Bullet Witch. Dragon Spirit is a vertical scrolling shooter game which was released by Namco in 1987 I'm reviewing this on the PC Engine, which is one of the favourite consoles in my collection, an absolute powerhouse for shoot 'em ups. As with many games from the late 80s and early 90s, it has aged beautifully, and as with many of its counterparts, this game is hard as nails and not to be taken lightly. With land-based and airborne enemies, the PC Engine's turbo controller handles it amazingly. The controls are tight and crisp and everything that you'd want in a shooter. This game is testament to how amazing arcade games were back in the late 80s, and definitely one that you should check out if you're an enthusiast of the genre. It may lack a little bit of variety and firepower, but let's be honest, who doesn't want to upgrade how many heads their dragon has? For a game that's almost as old as I am, it truly has stood the test of time. However, when weighed up against other heavyweights from the genre, it may feel a little bit lacking in places. There we are, that's 4 down, we just have 2 left to go, and my sensible adult I'm sure knows the protocol of what to do now, so go for it. What have we got next?
N64 South Park.
Whoa, you haven't pressed the button.
Oh, sorry about that. Let's try again.
Carry on.
Switch, new Pokemon Snap, and PS2 Dead-Eye Gym.
What? The last one?
PS2 Dead-Eye Gym.
Oh god. Why do I do this to myself? New Pokemon Snap is a 2021 Nintendo Switch exclusive, which I didn't realise was actually developed by Bandai Namco. Pokemon Snap is basically an on-rail shooter where you exchange your machine gun for a camera. As you progress through the game, you unlock a variety of tracks in different biomes. On top of this, you unlock power-ups, and very much like in South Park where you're throwing balls at turkeys, you get to throw fruit to the Pokemon. This in turn helps you as you need to capture shots of each of the Pokemon in different poses. After you finish a track, you get to pick your favourite snapshot of each of your Pokemon, which are then assessed by some creepy guy that likes to hang around with kids. The more points you score, the more tracks you unlock and the more upgrades you gain. I really like Pokemon Snap for what it is, however it can become a little bit repetitive, and I confess it probably isn't for everyone. Oh, Phoenix Games, the true seal of absolute quality on the PS2. From the publisher that brought you Snow White and the 7 Clever Boys and Animal Soccer World, here we have Dead-Eye Gym. With a western setting, this really is a poor shooter that I'd assume to have been an early life cycle game from the PS2. However, on looking it up, it actually turns out that this game released in 2007, which actually makes it the second newest game of these 6 that I'm reviewing. There's very little variation in the levels aside from the difficulty, and when you combine that with terrible hitboxes, unfair deaths and janky controls, this really is one to avoid. This is without a doubt one of the worst games in my collection, and it isn't so bad that it's good, it is just so bad that it is bad. I would honestly recommend you avoid this at all costs. And there we are, that concludes the first episode of Quick 6. And while we're talking about first, there's something else that I'd like to do a first of right now, and that's a stealth giveaway. A couple of days ago, or last week, myself and the Sensible Adult, we were clearing out some boxes of books and DVDs and stuff to give to a charity shop, and it just so happened I stumbled on a box of video games that I didn't realise I still had. And there's a few games in there that are sort of pretty decent. So I kind of thought, we've just gone past 100 subs on the channel, and that's absolutely amazing from my point of view. I'm really, really pleased, and I think it'd be nice just to sort of do a little giveaway. And what I've decided to give away, if anybody wants it, is this. It's a platinum copy of Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex on the PS2. So it is complete in nice condition. The disc is in the machine behind me, so I will put it back in here before sending it. Yes, I'd say it's in relatively good condition. And to win this, I was thinking most people sort of say comment below and they'll pick a random person like next time sort of thing. But I'm going to do it slightly differently in a soup of pants way sort of thing. My concern with doing that would be if I was to then do a draw and then I couldn't get in contact with the person who's won the draw, then no one gets the game sort of thing. So what I'm going to propose is my Instagram is linked below in the channel details. The first person that sends me a message on Instagram that says Crash Bandicoot and then has name and address, I will send you the game completely free of charge, okay? And I will not use your name and address for anything else whatsoever. I will use it solely to send you this copy of Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex. So just message me on Instagram, Crash Bandicoot, your name and address, and I will send it to you. The only thing, you have to be in the UK for this. I won't post overseas because I've had issues with posting overseas in the past with eBay and stuff. So this is only open to sort of standard postal areas in the UK. So thank you so much for being here. It really means the world. Please let me know, what do you think of this video? What do you think of the format of this quick 6 thing that I'm doing? Do you like the format? Is there anything you change about it? Please let me know and I can take that on board for the future. So thank you so much. I've been Soup. As always, you've been awesome and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.